welcome back. Today we're at the Wednesday edition. A little bit exciting, a little bit different, but after that Best Ball Mania one we made yesterday, we were so excited we couldn't wait a whole another week. That the lineups that we're going with our system are simultaneously so unique, so powerful, so sharp that we just basically, long story short, we want to share them with you guys in the world, my man. So that's what we're doing here. Always excited to take your questions. And Bob, any feedback that you want to give before we jump into this round here as it's filling up before my eyes?
Well, one of the things that Joe and I went in and did yesterday was we went in after the episode. We were talking a little bit about one of the underdog contests called Weekly Winners. Mm-hmm. And we were discussing the, what does Las Vegas, where is the money at right now in terms of how many points do the sharp people, do the people out there plunking down thousands and thousands and thousands and $1,000 worth of cash think about these teams? How are they going to score? Because,
and that's our whole metric. We're going off of all of the betting information that's available. And our board just went live, Bob. Let's throw it up here.
And unequivocally, if you don't have somebody from San Francisco or Detroit on your team, you might be doing something wrong here. So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes this time. I'm curious. We got the number one pick last time. Obviously,
and today we got seven.
Got seven.
So I'm thinking Brees off the bat.
We could definitely do that. Definitely thinking about that. I've seen where Brees sometimes gets taken a little bit later, sometimes gets taken a little bit earlier. So it'll be interesting to see where he pops off the board today. The Jets,
I think that's a spot because the only exception to that is if Amos sitting there, but I don't think he's going to be.
And the Jets here, they're projected to get a couple top 10 finishes across the year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In terms of Vegas odds are putting them to be able to be scoring in the top 10 of the league
for those given weeks. And it's important to recognize this type of information.
It's incredible.
Because like we said, with local football flavor, what we do is we look at all of the betting data that is out there, all of it, to compile our answers, both for fantasy and our bets. Last year we were 60% against the spread and over-unders, which is amazing. Of our regular followers, over 90% of them reported as winning their leagues. We come up with results. That's what we're here. We're not here for flash. Our YouTube channel doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles. It's direct. It's about winning and making a difference in your league. And our rankings that we have are all based upon the market data, because the market data ultimately backs up and has baked in all of the truth. So you have inside information that gets into the betting world. You have a hunch here, gets into there. We don't care about the hot air that ESPN is doing to just get clicks. We care about the results that actually people are making money on, going off of the information of the Sharks. And that's what we're going with. And that's why when you see our rankings, they're different than other people's. We don't have to play these games that other sites are doing about trying to catch someone in the last pick who no one's ever thought of. No, just take the absolute sharpest team you can have, and then you dominate. And oh, by the way, they're going to have people that no one else is thinking of. So, Bob, we're underway here. Yesterday's was insane. I'm hoping for a much
with
more
Lamar in the first round.
One.
That was wild.
Seeing Lamar go fourth is there, but we're underway, man. And I don't see how, unless he's not there, that Bijan or that Brees isn't the pick.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope he's.
I mean, Chase also is. I know we talked a lot about Chase. I'm surprised that he hasn't gone yet. I don't think that we're going to pick him there, but I'm actually shocked that he hasn't gone yet.
So if Brees goes, the only other or the next top quality player we have that we agree with as a first rounder, meaning that we agree and they agree are first rounders, would have been AJ Brown.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not an issue here because we are on the clock.
Yeah, that's got to be Brees. Another player that I do like that we haven't really talked much about, that I think is worth talking about because they are on one of those teams that is projected to score a lot of points, is Jahmyr Gibbs. When we think about the Lions, we think about this split of David Montgomery versus versus Jahmyr Gibbs. And, we're looking at him and say, oh, where did this kind of end up at the end of last season? And do we think that there's going to be room for both of them? And we talked a little bit about this yesterday when we spoke about Najee Harris and Jalen Warren, is that these two backs do provide, they have some similar characteristics, but they do provide different benchmarks. And what I like the most about Jahmyr Gibbs is one of those players that can definitely have a huge spike week in this offense.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking 29, we're talking 30 points. And Montgomery, for his part, even when you see that Jahmyr Gibbs is having a good game towards the back half of the season, notwithstanding week 9 here, when we look at week 13, week 14, week 15 last year, you're looking at a player that was still contributing on a pretty good clip. Jahmyr Gibbs got 24, David Montgomery got 10, Jahmyr Gibbs got 24, David Montgomery got 14. And then the last 2 weeks, Jahmyr Gibbs didn't do as good, and David Montgomery did about the same as average. He's a pretty average guy when not toting the rock as much as he was whenever Jahmyr Gibbs wasn't the guy. So, there's this narrative going on that, this is going to be pretty much the same, and it's not. So it would have been really nice if Jahmyr Gibbs would have came back to us on that back half there.
It would have been great.
Again, another unique beginning here. It's not often you see Drake London sneak into
a lot of receivers going early, but again, go off the board. Some people disagree with it. We got Henry as the 5th pick on our board. The fifth best player in the draft.
Thing. You see Jahmyr Gibbs, Devin Achane. One of these players down here is going to take JTT. One of these guys is going to take Saquon. And
a lot of people watching this are going to be like, how can you take Henry over both of them? Well, the reality is you go off your board.
While our rankings say, while our rankings and everything, that all of these numbers that we are throwing out there for you too, we're putting Derrick Henry above Jonathan Taylor and Saquon Barkley. We believe that Derrick Henry will finish 2nd overall in the season. And that's nothing to say that Jonathan Taylor won't have a good year or that Saquon won't have a good year. But Derrick Henry's pathway to touchdowns has less of a headache. It's less of a headache to get there, because with Jonathan Taylor, yes, Jonathan Taylor is an electric running back, and he's very good, and he could be very good in the red zone, but we're not sure yet what Anthony Richardson will do. Saquon, again, Saquon's one of those running backs that Jalen Hurts may not get the opportunity to run it in with a tush push because Saquon Barkley is that good, and that might hurt Jalen Hurts a lot. But
it's definitely a contest they're having with themselves.
We're not sure how that dynamic is going to work out yet. But what we do know is that Derrick Henry doesn't really have any of that competition, because while the competition is in that, is Lamar going to run it from the 10 or not? And with Derrick Henry, he doesn't have to. And so even though that line is worse than Indy's line, it is something very important to think about. Now, Joe, I know you want to go Pacheco or Etienne here, but I don't think we can.
See, but we don't have any receivers that are anywhere near the value, with the exception of Ayuk, who we have rated 16th.
Let's see what pops up. But I'm interested in potentially doing.
And there goes Ayuk right there.
I'm potentially interested in doing something we haven't done, in getting our best tight end.
So we have Laporta ranked as 13th overall. Right now, with Etienne just going, if you want to go Laporta, I'm okay with it. There's a flex in this league that if we still get Ingram later, it certainly is a unique build. I personally, as I said, I would lean either Pacheco or Kareem.
Kareem's still out there. I forgot about that. Oof. All right, if Kareem's still there, I think we got to take him.
I think so too.
I do like the idea of Pacheco here, and this is the thing, a lot
just
of people,
running back such a more valuable position than tight end.
A lot of people will go out there and tell you, you don't want to build these best ball teams with 3 powerful running backs. Running backs get hurt. Yeah, running backs get hurt. That is absolutely 1,000% true.
No one's fighting that.
But wide receivers get hurt too, and you want to have a lot of wide receivers. Yeah, we're not fighting that at all. But the thing that we want to think about is that in some best ball tournaments, when we think about weekly winners, running back made the cut into the flex more often. And
Yes,
when
it
you
does.
look at the value here, and especially when we look at just going back to last year's numbers, I just want to take last year's numbers here as a metric to think about this decision making process for anybody who's questioning it. The first week of the season, we had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-ish, almost 10-ish wide receivers above 20 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when we come over here to running back in that first week of the season, let me sort it here. You're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish, right? And so we now have 3 guys that could potentially almost every week, because these teams are projected to be in the lead and to be high scoring teams throughout the year.
Yeah.
These players are going to see the field. And so, there's not really a question mark in what's going to be happening on those offenses that much. We rarely get Kareem in the 3rd round, so I'm really happy.
We certainly do. This pick's going to be Zay Flowers.
Yeah, it is. It should be.
We have Zay Flowers as the 35th person overall. It's just a natural fit. It's an investment in Baltimore, but Baltimore's going to be good offense. There's no way around it.
Yeah, and for Lamar last year put up a couple duds when it comes to his stat line, and he's our number 2 quarterback. But he's one of those guys that when Zay is on, and Zay is, when Lamar can find a wide receiver like Zay Flowers or find a tight end like Mark Andrews or Isaiah Likely, this team is set up to be very, very good.
Yes, it is.
And when we look at Zay Flowers' his games last year, he did spike 3 20-point games, and that's not the best that we're probably going to see out of Zay Flowers. So
no, he's a volume machine. This is going to be his 2nd year. He's going to produce. He's going to step up. I hate stacking 2 quarterbacks that early.
I don't see any value in that.
There's really not. Don't. You basically have either said I'm wasting my 3rd or 4th round pick every week because only one of the 2 of them can score. It's very hard to win when you're doing that. It just is.
And it's not really preventing anybody else in your league from winning.
No, it's definitely not doing that. There is an argument to say, that could have been happening, but it's not. There's so much quarterback depth. All right, so our next pick is going to be 59 overall, Bob.
So, Joe, what I was speaking of a little bit earlier about underdog versus DraftKings is this is like your typical DraftKings type of draft or typical underdog type of draft with all these wide receivers going and the running backs falling, at least one of those falling to that mid-3rd round. Remember, I was talking about that. And the thing is, I would much rather have Kareem in the 3rd over DK when I'm coming around and looking that it's James Cook versus Zay Flowers. While I like James Cook a lot, I think that the value of Kareem versus the value of DK, could be leaps and bounds better. DK came off 21.
Jalen Reed going earlier than ADP by a lot there. I was hoping to get him in round 6.
Yeah, Jaden Reed. Well, that was one of those decisions that we had to come across yesterday as well.
Yeah, you're on the turn. You're not going to. He knows he's not getting him back in his 6th round.
You're not getting him back.
You got to get the guys you want. I think Scary Terry's my pick here, Bob.
Yeah, I think he has to be.
That's about ADP. We have him ranked at 54. All the guys we have See, here's the other thing. We look at our draft board and we look at ADP. All the people that we have above McLaurin right now, we know we'll be able to get in later rounds, except for the fact McLaurin just went.
All right, so let's zigzag a little bit there. See, this is the deadly thing where you're looking at the wide receiver pool and you're not really digging anything. The
next one will be Higgins. His ADP is 50. We have him as 48. I just like McLaurin more than Higgins.
Yeah, we discussed why we do not really enjoy Higgins potentially this year. But if he does, if Burrow is healthy and Higgins does hit, that could be a really good pick, especially in the 5th round there.
Higgins as a 2 isn't the end of the world.
Who else is on the board right now?
For our ranking or ADP?
ADP.
So Higgins is our highest one, and he's the next on ADP.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So there we go.
That makes sense. All right, I like it.
So when we look at our receivers coming around, I actually would like to do receiver back to back here. I would like to go Ladd and then see if we can get Coleman.
Oh, and go against Ingram. It's your boy.
Oh, it's right. Ingram would have to be in there.
So here's the crux, Joe. This is what always happens when taking T. Higgins here. T. Higgins is a fifth rounder.
The fifth round is our least favorite round of every draft, though. We have this fight every time in the fifth round.
It really prevents you from taking. I mean, you might still like. There's a good chance that people are still kind of sleeping on Evan Ingram, that they'll take Kyle Pitts ahead of him, but you're not. But coming back around in the seventh, because Ladd's ADP has continued to climb over the course of the year, you got to decide on one or the other. And I think
there's a tight end run happening.
I don't think it's going to continue unless you would want to take Ingram on the back after the run. But I'm okay not taking Ingram too. I know he's your linchpin kind of guy, but I'm okay not taking him.
I mean, the end result is we have Ladd as a top 10 player. He's the next pick. It's early. It's going to be 12 picks of his ADP, but I don't really want to sweat over potentially getting my 10th round pick. You got to just get your guys.
It's and not really. He would go. I mean, in terms of ADP, yeah, you said it's a little bit above ADP, but he'll go in that term. I mean,
yeah, he won't make it back to us. So you got to take your guys.
We know. So if you're just joining us, we're doing one of DraftKings $1 million entries. The buy-in's $20, and we're drafting from the 7th position so far. And Joe and I were just discussing how Ladd McConkey in the 6th round could potentially be one of those picks that if you're making it in the 6th as a 3rd wide receiver, 4th wide receiver especially, that's going to be one of those picks that could probably, jump your team to the next level, knowing that Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are now gone, and there's a big vacuum of power in
he's by
Los
far
Angeles.
The most talented receiver in LA.
When you have that big vacuum of power, you got to figure out who's going to fall in. People say Josh Palmer, people say Ladd McConkey, people say DJ Chark, and it's very possible we can get Chark on the back end as well, which would be very nice to secure that. Now, as far as stacks go here, we're not buying into the Joe Burrow stack. We're not buying into the Lamar Jackson stack. So we're most likely going to be.
We do buy into the Herbert stack, though.
We're most likely going to be buying into the Herbert stack a little bit later, probably in the 11th.
An ideal if we get Ingram, we do Herbert and Lawrence, and then we're set.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about long-term plan of the draft.
Yeah, so around this time, you're going to start to see guys like Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins go off the board, and we've discussed this, and while DeAndre Hopkins and Calvin Ridley do have the potential to boom, they're on a team that does have a lot of question marks, that is trying to find what's going to work with them. Tennessee, they have improved their offensive line, but we're not sure what direction this is going to take. And spending your these 5th and 6th round picks are kind of those picks where you're thinking about, well, what direction is this player going? So we're buying in on a team with, Hall of Fame kind of caliber head coach. We're buying in on a quarterback that's shown me that it could throw for 30 touchdowns in Ladd McConkey. Evan Ingram, we lost out on them, but that's okay.
We have Kittle as the last one in that tier, and it is a severe tier drop after Kittle.
It's okay. So if we don't get Kittle here, Joe, it's a very good pick for Raheem Mostert. It's a very good pick for a guy like Najee Harris as a 4th running back to secure that position.
Oh, I love Mostert here. Yeah. We have Mostert ranked as the 19th player.
And what's Mostert's ADP here?
83, and this is pick 79, so it's basically right on schedule.
Yep, I would take Mostert there. And a lot of people will
running backs.
A lot of people will suggest to you that wait on running back, wait on running back, and that's a very viable strategy. But I want to posit this: if you have, let's say, how many contest entries are in this tournament?
Oh, there's going to be 43,000 or something like that.
Okay, So if you take 40 to 100,000 tournaments, and let's say the permutations of a single player of landing on certain lineups, and every single one of those lineups builds wide receiver. Well, yeah, you do have a good chance of making the finals. But if everybody's doing the same thing and everybody's taking those same players within that same order, basically your chances of winning aren't any better than anybody else's. So by kind of bucking the trend just a little bit and still securing yourselves when you're in the top 6 rounds, we secured ourselves 3 very, very, very solid Hall of Fame style running back situations.
Mm-hmm.
Then we secured ourselves 3 wide receivers that are going to get a decent amount of volume on their team, plus another running back that's probably going to come back to earth, not get 21 total touchdowns. But again, the possibility is still there.
The pick has to be Njoku, by the way.
No, it doesn't. We talked about why Njoku isn't the pick, so don't get scared about that.
All right. Well, I look at the receiver room. Coleman, for some reason, is still on the board. We have him as 50th. His ADP is 72. If he's still there at 90, maybe Coleman's the pick.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't even suggest it because we don't do it often. I hadn't even suggested a Dak in the 8th round. We haven't done that before. But Dak already went. But just something to think about the next time.
I think I'd rather go Coleman, though.
I feel Coleman. I mean, again, everybody's saying Curtis Samuel. I'm a little bit on the Curtis Samuel bus as well. I think that, in order for Coleman to succeed, he's going to need a lot of support in that system and a lot of help there. But I don't think it's out of the realm that, Coleman could produce a great year with Josh Allen. Again, when we go to the weekly numbers here,
Buffalo's going to score.
Buffalo is projected to be in the top 10 of scoring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times.
12 out of their 17 games.
With about 5 finishes in the top 5. So, if anybody's going to get them there, it's going to be Josh Allen. And the question is, who does he get it to? And we're okay walking into a situation where, where unknowns are. It would have been really cool there, Joe, to take Brian Thomas, knowing that we might land Trevor Lawrence, though.
Well, Lawrence becomes less of a priority without Ingram. Lawrence always was our priority because of Ingram.
So knowing that we don't have any stacks for San Francisco, but knowing that Brock Purdy was a quarterback 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 last year with 9 games over 20 points.
Well, Herbie will be our quarterback. I mean, I'm not saying we're not getting Herbie.
Purdy just went.
Purdy. No, Herbert.
I know, but I said Purdy, not Herbie. I said Purdy. All right. So who do you want to buy into in this round?
So I either want to go Myers, Cooks, or Sutton. Myers we have at 45, Cooks at 51. Sutton, his ADP is now.
Sutton might hold out.
What?
Sutton might hold out, but he is the best wide receiver in that space.
I think I'm taking Myers, but it's best on the board.
Yeah, I mean, with the news that Sutton might hold out, and knowing that Jacoby Myers is potentially going to be our 5th wide receiver, might not be required to be, a really great player on the year. It'd have been cool to get Josh Palmer there. We never done a lad Josh Palmer stack, buying in on the Chargers there like that.
Yeah, again, Bob, I think that our value is the fact our list is so unique, and as long as we're sharp with it, we're going to be walking in with more value than anyone else. So, our builds are always different as a result of that. That being said, taking an eye on the quarterback world before it fully disappears, let me go by ADP, not our ranks. Burrow is the next one up. We do have Higgins. I'd be okay with that stack.
And we've said that there could be issues with Burrow, but I think it'd be really interesting here, Joe.
I mean,
to
this
go
is the
Burrow,
10th round. When he's on, he's the best quarterback in football.
to go Burrow Herbie.
Yeah, I'd love to have that combo.
So I say we do it. I say we take a chance. If Burrow's still here, Burrow is the pick.
And then we take Cincinnati. We take Hurst late.
It's late enough. It's late enough that it will also allow us to build out Burton as well.
Yeah. Oh, I like that because we've been talking about Burton. We want to get him. We'll get him instead of Roman Wilson.
And again, anybody watching can go back to what.
And that's actually a hedge on Higgins because Burton is the hedge on Higgins.
And what we were talking about with the Cincinnati Bengals when we aired about the Cincinnati Bengals is we said, there's a lot of question marks about Joe Burrow's health. But if you are going to buy in on a Cincinnati Bengal player, you might not want to buy in at Jamar at the price. But buying in late on these guys like Higgins and Burrow and Burton could potentially give you a lot of value. This guy might go Burrow because it's the best value on the board, I believe. But he might not want to because he has Kyler. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Burrow is the highest ADP of all players right now. There's no doubt. So
I really can't believe he's still on the board. Take him.
Yeah, well, I love it.
Usually Burrow goes in the 8th or 9th round. And usually
he does.
We're not interested in Burrow in that
round. Well, look and see who went ahead of him. Jalen Daniels doesn't normally go that high. Neither does the rookie in Chicago. So,
but I believe the guy that took Jaden Daniels was just covering the Jordan Love kind of thing.
Possibly.
We have Jordan Love as our 6th best quarterback this year. Brock Purdy is our 5th. Kyler is our 7th. Burrow is down there at 11. But that number will probably change as the year goes on. Okay, so there goes Trevor, Tua, and Goff. Scroll down for me, please.
Dude, if somehow Cook slides to us, I would love it.
This pick might have to be Herbert, though. How many quarterbacks are taken on the back half here?
Herbert is the top quarterback. We might have to go Herbie. Yeah, we normally have to take Herbie in the 11th. And I don't think Cooks is going to slide to us anyway. He's the top ADP for about a round and a half now.
Is there anybody without a quarterback on that back end?
No one in the league is without a quarterback. Dude, I want to take Cooks and roll the dice on Herbie. Are you okay with that?
I say it's your call.
First player on the board.
I say it's your call.
Got to roll the dice on Herbie. It might backfire, but if it works, it's a huge steal.
Let's hit and hope there. And a guy like Blake Corum, we're one of those. When we think about Blake Corum is the type of player
Rodgers over Herbert
that could definitely, if Kyron is hurt, definitely could take over. He's one of those players at Michigan, scored 27, 28 touchdowns last year. Absolutely electric player. So when we think about Blake Corum's value, if you do own Kyron, it might be a good idea to come back down here in the 11th round to take Blake Corum. It's okay though if you don't, I think, because it's predicated that he's going to have playing time, and I don't know if that's necessarily 1,000% true right off the rip. We like Judy.
So what I love about this team build, and this is why I love Cook so much, because we got Cooks there, we're no longer behind in the receiver world. We are stand out a mile ahead in running backs, having 4 elite starters, and Burrow is contendable with any other starter in this league, especially with the
all right,
DraftKings
take Herbie
300 yards.
Take Herbie.
Bob, I am loving this team right now. 12 picks in.
That worked out exactly how we wanted it to.
That worked out perfectly. The only thing we don't have is a tight end, and we can just volume it.
Yeah, I'm thinking Tyler Conklin. I'm thinking Conklin. I'm thinking Woods maybe later. I'm thinking Hunter Henry probably maybe in the next round even.
It's too early for Henry.
It's too early for all these
guys. This is just downfield planning.
Yeah.
Gesicki's someone we're definitely going to want to get now that we had the Bengals. Now that we have Burrow.
Yeah, I'm not 1,000% sold on anybody that's ever the Bengals tight end. To be honest with
Yeah, but still, we're gonna get him in the 18th round. This is just downfield planning.
Okay. You're not thinking about him like right now.
No, I'm not thinking about any tight end in this next pick. All the good ones, unless we go for Hawk to try to bail out the back end of the season, which Hawk is the kind of guy who could win you the playoffs.
Can you tell me where Spears ended up going? I didn't see it on your board.
Spears is 10-1.
10-1. Is Chubb still on the board?
Ford went. Dobbins is still there, so is Algier.
So there goes Kendre Miller. We usually do like to get Kendre. Is Chubb still there, though?
I like Dobbins, too, here, man. I get
don't
that.
Like Dobbins. I think Dobbins is early. I think it's an early in Dobbins, and we do have Chubb ranked.
Oh, you are right. We have a round to go.
We do have Chubb ranked higher than Dobbins. We also
don't have on the board. Chubb already went.
Where?
Oh, now I have to find him, but he's not on my board.
Where is he? Where did he go though? I don't even see him on the. I don't even see him being taken. Unless he went in the 10th round. Did he go in the 10th round? Maybe.
Chubb went. Oh, we're on the clock.
I'm gonna throw this out there. I know we don't have a tight end yet, and I know this tight end is hurt, but TJ Hawkinson right now.
I love the Hawk. Hawk's not available. He won at 12-12.
12-12. Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry about that. All right, 9 seconds. Make the pick.
Oh shit. I panicked, but I love him. So that's a thing.
I don't like that pick at all. That's okay though.
Again, talking about touchdowns close to the end zone.
Yeah,
it's a risk. It's also the 13th round.
But it's not really a good pick though.
I disagree. We have him ranked as 60th for a reason, Bob.
I get it.
There's health risk there. I'm not fighting any of the health risk.
No, it's not the health risk that I'm in. It's just that Harbaugh coaching at Michigan, they played one running back. So I don't really see him going with a platoon for very long, and it's going to be one of the three.
I think Dobbins is flat out going to win it.
That very well could be true, but that's probably around ADP value for him.
It is. Just like Hunter Henry's going to be an ADP value when we draft him in the next pick.
Yeah.
Algier was who I was debating with, by the way.
I mean, you do like Algier.
I do. I like Algier, but he's more of a handcuff.
Algier
Dobbins could be a complete bust, but I think it's worth it.
He might end up being the start. I mean, the only thing that's playing against us with this Chargers narrative is that they're only projected to have one top 10 finish, according to Vegas here, and averaging out to potentially, 17th ranked in points per week, which doesn't really play out with the narrative that we want out of Ladd McConkey. But I don't think Ladd, to be successful.
So Ladd's going to be a volume play.
Yeah, I don't think he has to score a lot.
No,
for Herbert
to Keenan Allen.
Now, for Herbert, I see Herbert probably as like a 2-3 touchdown guy on a week-to-week basis. 250 yards, probably evening himself out a little bit. Nothing crazy, but he does have the capability of a spike week. 1,000% has the capability of a spike week. We've seen that in the past. So, I'm willing to buy in on that.
Next pick will be Burton.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm in on that 1,000% actually. And then on the comeback from that, and for anybody watching, the reason why we took Hunter Henry is Hunter Henry has the capability to have some pretty decent spike weeks with an unknown situation there in New England, being
someone's going to score.
A fairly reliable target, even though they're projected to score the lowest amount of points basically almost every single week.
Bob, that's the only risk we really haven't come through. We did not get Burton there on the back end.
That's okay.
looking at team build, we have 5 running backs, so we should be done-ish there. We have 6 receivers.
Why don't we take Conklin here and then allow us to think about the next pick?
All right.
So we got
And then
two tight
Gesicki
ends.
would be the pick at 17, and then we'd be
What?
done with tight ends.
Oh, okay. Yeah, taking it. Okay, so the thing is, you take Burton there. Burton is a really good play. Panicking
But he's
on
also your
Hunter Henry
7th
a little
receiver.
bit. What?
He's also would have been the 7th receiver.
Yeah, panicking on Hunter Henry a little bit. Not really, but
That wasn't a panic. That was the conscious decision.
Burton. I mean, your boy Roman Wilson should still be there, I think.
He absolutely is.
If you want to buy into some Steelers stock. My guy, Wan'Dale Robinson, is still there in the 16th round if you want to buy into that stock.
Well, Robinson is our last player, or correction, Roman Wilson is one of 3 players we have left in the top 100. So, you got a player in the top 100. That's worth looking into. Not as good as Burton, but still.
An ADP wise, he goes around now anyway.
He does. May actually go before we're up. His ADP, we'll be taking him after ADP.
There goes Wan'Dale. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Starting, potentially starting wide receiver on a team that,
This is the difference with not having Ingram, though, because so many of our builds have Ingram. We're not taking double tight ends late like this.
Usually in that 14th round, we would have grabbed, a wide receiver, and in the 15th round, we would have grabbed a wide receiver too. There goes DJ Chark. That would have been nice. I definitely thought DJ Chark would last one more round. But again, you see, Conklin, Jonnu Smith, another tight end was going to go in there. I'm okay with how this is playing out.
Yeah, because I look at the other ones.
There goes Gesicki.
I would have taken likely would have. So all 3 of them, assume they go. I don't want Noah Fant. Noah Fant or Conklin without Henry isn't as good. Like I said, the tight end position still exists. You still need to play someone in it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, there went
okay. So he's off the board. I was looking at Ray Davis. All right, so I'm gonna play this one for you. We have Breece Hall, right?
Yeah.
Now I don't like buying into a dead position, but if Breece Hall ends up getting hurt, this guy Braylon Allen is still ranked on our boards, running back. We could buy into just protecting our asset.
I like that. E-N or A-N?
Braelon. Allen, Allen.
Where the hell is he?
He might have went. Shouldn't have went yet. Just look Allen, Allen. Make that pick. 2 seconds.
Blair was the top of our board.
You got to be better on the sticks.
Well, you told me to try to look some up. I still haven't been able to find him.
He should be there unless he was taken. That's a bad pick.
Well, Edwards, yeah, I mean that's just someone else's hamstring.
Why did that go? Why was that the auto draft there?
Because he's 98th on our board.
I don't like that at all. Find Allen. He's 62nd on our running back board. He should be there. But now we can't put another asset into running back.
Yes, we can.
Kind of wasted it there. We needed how many wide receivers we're at? We're at 7.
Well, the next Jet I see is Abiganki.
So Allen might have been taken. Go up in the rounds. I can't see. That's why,
Allen was taken 14-4.
I can't see. I
Sorry,
can only see
14-4. I'm looking up now. I'm looking up the draft board.
I only can see 15 through 17. I can only see 3 rounds at a time.
Gotcha. But he went 14-4.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is not the worst. We could do.
No, there's certainly worse than that.
I don't see any value in him.
So I'm seeing Daniel Jones or Minshew as the pick here. Daniel Jones at least gives me some running love.
Okay,
Minshew, we do have Myers, right?
We have Myers.
So I'd go Minshew as a result.
Yeah, but I'm not willing to play that. I mean,
I'm not taking O'Connell as well. We wasted that with the Clyde Edwards. We
yeah.
need a
So
third
I don't.
quarterback.
Um,
Minshew, Mix, and Jones are the only starters left.
I mean,
And Russell Wilson.
Daniel
We do
Jones.
have Roman Wilson.
I don't want
Russell
that.
Wilson is the starter.
I understand that, but I don't want that. Daniel Jones has the potential for some major spike weeks.
More so than Minshew?
Yeah, I think so.
Then Daniel Jones is the answer. It's easy to get a giant late too. You'll throw in Bellinger or something like that. We do need to do another tight end on the next pick. You like Otten a lot. You always have talked him up.
So in terms of spike weeks, Minshew spiked to 28.7 when he ran for like 3 touchdowns, and Daniel Jones spiked to 31.7.
All right, so I mean, at this point, we need a spike out of our third quarterback. The other two are going to carry the day more often than not. So,
okay, I like Jalen Gilbert there.
I'm seeing Otten as a guy who just went.
Yeah, that's really late for Cade Otton, actually, to tell you the truth. Usually, you see Otten before Jelani Woods, before Akinakwo, before Parkinson, before Zach Ertz. Okay, let me do something here. Last year, I want to see 2023. We have a little
Bellinger on the board for the last pick. We'll need to. We're done with quarterbacks. Tutu Atwell's a guy you love that's still around.
I don't like Tutu Atwell. You like Tutu Atwell.
Guy I like.
Don't be putting that on me. If I'm a guy taking a wide
Shipley in Philly.
What
is on the board? I think that one's an interesting one.
Who?
Shipley, the running back in Philly.
Shipley could definitely be an interesting one with Saquon Barkley's health. How many running backs does that put us at? 6 or 7?
That would put us at 7 backs, 7 receivers. So we're going to be 1 tight end short. I'm okay with that.
I do also like Khalif Raymond. Detroit, if he hasn't been taken, because we don't know about we don't know if Amon-Ra is going to play a full season. We do like Amon-Ra to play a full season. Josh Reynolds is gone.
It's R-A-Y, right?
What?
It's R-A-Y, right, for Raymond?
Yeah, R-A-Y. Uh-huh.
He's not there.
So he was taken.
I think Shipley's the pick then.
Okay, take Shipley. When was Khalif Raymond taken? I can't see anything more than 3.
No, I get that. I just typed him in the search to try to find him. Someone took Cam Akers. I'm on the team.
Cam Akers is on the team.
Who do you get signed by? Who's listed as free agent?
I can't remember. I think someone in the NFC North.
See, Raymond would be yellow.
Yeah, I don't see him. Usually he goes on the back half. Maybe he went in the 15th round.
We'll search him at the end, Buck.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Kendrick Bourne also went, so
And then Bellinger's the last pick. We already had that one mapped out.
I'm okay taking Daniel Bellinger, but I'm also I like that because it's kind of like a stack. Who's to say?
Well, it is a stack.
I know, but who's to say that he is going to be?
Well, he's the starting tight end.
Well, right now.
No, he's going. You can make an argument he's been their best skill player, not named Barkley, for the last 3 years. At least, especially in terms of consistency. It's a very shallow group. I ain't fighting that at all.
Well, he's only played for 2 years, so.
Yeah, this will be his 3rd year.
Yeah. And he did get he played in 17 games last year, but only had 255 yards. Not
Waller was there. Waller's not there anymore.
Yeah, I know. Waller had some good spike weeks, so I mean, Waller did win tight end 1 week.
So there you go.
So that
is Khalif Raymond. This is annoying me. No one took him super early, did they?
Unless it was super early, like 14th, 13th round.
Yeah, this is upsetting.
That's really annoying.
And there's Reynolds.
Reynolds is in Denver now.
Yeah. Yeah, Raymond's like half a heartbeat away from being the 2-hole.
Where is he? Like, this is maddening. After you make the pick, can you just scroll up to find him, please?
Search for him, yeah.
Like, if you like Control F, Khalif Raymond or something.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Just make our pick.
Yeah, I'll do our pick first.
So if you're just joining us, we're finishing up one of DraftKings $1 million pool tournaments. Hopefully we'll do another one coming up soon. We're currently looking for when Khalif Raymond went. Joe and I were discussing late round picks, and we do like the potential of Khalif Raymond. When it comes to, he's just a half a tick away from taking, if Amon-Ra's to have a bum foot, you could totally see.
Am I spelling it wrong? Is it not R-A-Y?
So it's Khalif's. K-A-L.
I don't care about his last name. I don't. His first name's irrelevant. I just need his last name.
R-A-Y-M-O-N. R-A-Y-M-O-n.
Yeah. So he's not coming up here as being drafted. He didn't come up in the list.
Just as an example here, Joe. In a week where Amon-Ra put up 14 points, Josh Reynolds also put up 23 points, and Khalif Raymond put up 13 points. Now,
I typed in Ray. He's not. There's only 4 players left in the draft who have.
I'm just saying, control find him on the draft.
I did control find. The only person who's coming up on the draft board is Murray.
Can you control find DET for Detroit?
Yeah. My point is he should be in the search.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. This is gonna be a fun exercise, actually. Detroit's first player.
So there's Montgomery. It's control finding Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's Laporta. Okay. There's Gibbs. Okay. Keep scrolling. I can see the yellow. Oh, too far.
Yeah, it's gonna be easier if I just scroll this. Stay. I want to know why he wasn't able to come up, because I would have taken him. First pick overall.
Yeah. So there's Amon-Ra at 4.
It says 7 Detroit players were taken.
So Amon-Ra, Gibbs, Laporta, 3. Montgomery is 4. Keep going. Goff will be 5. Or Jamo is 5. So that's in the 9th round.
Jamo
Goff will be
5.
the 6th. Goff will be probably in the 10th or 11th round here.
Yeah,
So
Goff is right there.
Right,
at
and Raymond is the last 1.
10, 12.
Yeah. So Raymond is somewhere here. This is mind-blowing. When did he go?
This is mind-blowing.
There's no way. It says 7 were taken. I don't see him. Did you see him?
There's Monty.
Monty's there.
Laporta.
He
Gibbs,
was 4. Monty was 4.
Goff. Williams.
Jamo was 5. Goff was 6. And you said Detroit had 7 players taken.
Oh, apparently the 7th one is contest details. So why is Raymond not in my search?
Fix that.
Does he not spell it with an A?
It's Raymon. That's the way he spells his name. You gotta. Where is it? What? That's wild, man. I can't believe that. Anyway, I think we've constructed a pretty good team here. For those joining us,
Raymond, not there.
That's wild. For those of you that joined us for the draft, we were talking about ways to build and ways to think about going into your draft to make your situation unique. I see a couple of viewers joined us a little bit later here, and we can go and we can pop off another one. Maybe not a $1 million tournament, but we might be able to pop off another one here in a moment.
Well, let me go find a good healthy one. It might be another $1 million tournament, Bob. I'm feeling a little juiced right now. Feel a little happy and excited.
It is about to thunderstorm. It feels next to me, so if I do cut out, you'll know.
Oh yes, there is storms in this nation.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. But anyway, when you're going into a draft, especially when you're going into
screw it. I want to do another $1 million one. I'm doing another millionaire one.
When you're going into
the show was called "How to Become a Millionaire." Let's get the people to
a DraftKings draft, or when you're going into a underdog draft, knowing your ADP, knowing where other people are suggesting to draft players is one thing. Knowing how, knowing that you have a list and going off of your list of players that you want to draft in positions is invaluable because, you know, like Joe and I were doing in the last one, you know, it's okay a couple of times later in the draft you want to go through and you might want to pick and choose between two guys, but earlier in the draft you really don't want to be batting the idea back and forth too much without doing a lot of research about past values, current values of these players. Now, here at Local Football Flavor, we like to base our values on betting markets. We also are looking into the current situation of the players, all those baked in facts. So
so by going off of what every other bet has been made in the actual betting world is how you get the sharpest information. That's what we go off. We synthesize that into our fantasy players and all our bets. You know, last year 60% against the spread. You know, we've got 90% of our team player regulars winning their leagues. It's a good thing. And as we start here with the 10th pick, Bob, I'm hoping AJ. I'm just telling you that right now.
I'm hoping AJ, but this is most likely going to be Jameer.
Yeah, you know, that's a possibility too.
I am also okay at value. We've not taken Puka yet. I'm okay taking Puka at value potentially here.
All right, Bob. He pops up here. He had to have been drafted in the last round because he comes in.
He had to have been because that was crazy that we couldn't find. Joe and I were in the last draft. We were looking for Khalif Raymond in one of those last rounds. Couldn't find him. Yeah. The search feature was not working, and it didn't look like he was drafted, which was mind-bending. So we ended up taking Daniel Bellinger, who, you know, for all intents and purposes, is the starting tight end in New York.
Whether that's going to be stacked with Daniel Jones, so
whether that's going to be a valuable position is yet to be seen. But again, you know, when you watch any of the fantasy broadcasters that are out there right now, we're talking about stacks. We're talking about building stacks. And what Joe and I like to do, we're not one of those, you know, content creators that will suggest to you to throw out there a Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers stack or a Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown stack. While there is a lot of value and potential value in a stack like that, Joe and I are the creators that we prefer those lower tier stacks that could potentially pop off. Amon-Ra 1-1. That is I've not seen.
All right, Bob, it's on, man. People are building the teams they want. Okay. Let's go make $1 million.
It's on now. Sheesh.
Hell, maybe Brees will fall to us if this kind of things are happening. That is crazy.
I've never seen that. But again, he wasn't going to get him.
Yeah, you're not going to get him at 212. Yeah, that's definitely true.
Tyreek.
What was Tyreek slipping for?
God, man, I wish I was at 5. Oh my God, I wish I was at 6 in this one. Tyreek at 6 would be crazy. Holy cow, that is nuts. Now, everybody just joining in. This is DraftKings. This is $1 million tournament, $20 buy-in.
Yeah, that's right.
Tyreek Hill just going 6 overall is madness. I wish we had one of those. Wish we had one of those picks, man.
When we had 7th last round, it was so chalk. And there's no chalk right here.
That's terrible. But again,
all right, take me just tuning
in. I was talking a little bit about stacking, and there are a lot of value stacks this year. Your Joe Burrow, your T. Higgins kind of stack, your Justin Herbert, Ladd McConkey, your Trevor Lawrence, Christian Kirk, Trevor Lawrence, Evan Ingram kind of stack. There goes Breece Hall. So, I mean, A.J. Brown could be there. Take A.J. Brown. Take A.J. Brown. You know, we might even get Gibbs on the comeback, to be honest with you.
We have Henry ranked higher, though. Significantly.
I understand. I understand that. But, you know, based upon, you know, the math here that's shaken out, Detroit's going to come out with more top 10 weeks, more top.
I get that, weeks. But there's less competition for Henry. That's the math.
Yeah.
There's 5 scorers in Detroit. Henry, there are 3 in Baltimore.
Okay, so here's the thing I got to ask you.
Because Zay ain't one of them.
If Gibbs is there, okay, there's a good chance that ETN might come back to us in the 3rd. Okay. But there's also.
I will give you.
I'm asking you this question. We also have Debo ranked high. We aren't going to get Debo on the comeback in the 3rd round. We just did.
Well, Debo and Henry are both ADP of 20.
It could have been.
Our next pick is going to be 34.
Could have been his pre-ranked, and that's fine. We've definitely had a couple times where we've timed out, and we've got our pre-ranked.
That happens sometimes.
Player. I just hope that when that guy comes back in and sees that it could be a game-winning decision. So for I know you want Henry here, Joe. I know you do.
Dude, I'm okay with rolling of taking Debo and rolling the dice to see if Henry or another back comes back to us, and then just play the backs.
Yeah, if we can try that, I'd be okay with that.
We'll try the Debo build.
And Debo is
7th overall. It's not like we have him ranked low.
Yeah.
The Niners are going to be scoring always.
And it's crazy to pass up on Gibbs, but again, these contests are all about building teams that are going to get you to the next level and building teams that have the potential to be unique.
Yeah, the first step is you have to win your own draft. You have to come in the top 2 of this draft.
And building teams that are
there goes Gibbs anyway, so
building teams that are going to be able to play off one another. Now, by buying into 2 wide receivers here, we could potentially come back and get a Travis Etienne a little bit later in the 3rd round. Sometimes he slips there. We'll see what happens here. Joe is very pensive and waiting on bended knee to propose to a running back here.
Oh, you know it. I dude, we're probably going 3 running backs in a row.
But we could still end up here with Etienne and Pacheco, and that won't be too bad.
Yeah, no, we built worse than Etienne and Pacheco, but I don't think we're going to be able to get them both. We might, but we'll see.
But if it does come down to it, and we start off with 3 wide receivers and AJ Brown, Debo Samuel, and Zay Flowers, something of that ilk, that is definitely not a bad build coming around again. And there goes Derrick Henry off the board again. Derrick Henry's one of those guys, for anybody watching, that you might see a lot of people down on him. But if you would have been drafting a month or 2 ago, you would notice that Derrick Henry has slowly climbed up many, many draft boards.
Oh, yes, he has.
In ESPN, he's super high. In Yahoo, he's super high. Because the old heads use ESPN and Yahoo, and
yes, they do.
Running backs do come off the board a little bit higher there.
But he's even moving within the running back sphere.
He is moving within the running back sphere.
Always.
Well. He's our running back 2 on the year. Again,
yes,
Baltimore's offensive line has gotten worse, but Lamar Jackson is still there. Lamar Jackson is one of the best playmakers in football today. And he's not going to steal any of the goal line touches as, Taylor might have or Barkley might have with their quarterbacks. If you believe that narrative that Barkley is going to get touches stolen from him by Jalen Hurts. I don't believe that narrative. But again, I'm not quite certain how Barkley is going to fit into this team.
I'm not sure how healthy Barkley is going to be in week 17 when I need to win a championship. I know Debo and Brown will play through a wall.
He was healthy last year. Okay, so there goes
no, that's what I mean. He was healthy last year. I don't think he's going to be healthy this year. He's in every other player.
The only teams that I think we have to fear of a running back snipe here is Team 3 and Team 5.
You're the ones who don't have one yet.
But odds on favor are those guys are.
Oh, you're saying Team 9 is not going back?
I don't think Team 9 will.
We'll see.
Unless the value is tremendous. They're a Sam Laporta type of team, I feel.
Calling the shots.
It's just by doing many multiple drafts here, you'll notice, and as you do them, you'll notice what happens. You'll notice.
Dude, we have never drafted Olave. We have him ranked him and Garrett Wilson.
I have Olave in my underdog ones because of that late QB stack in Derek Carr. You can also get Rashid Shaheed in there. They are a team that's projected not to score a lot of points this year.
That's true.
But again,
that's why he's not on our list.
That could definitely change. So there's the Laporta. It was Team 5.
I don't like Malik Neighbors at all this year. I need to put that out there.
I'm not sold on Neighbors. Again, Kyron falling to the 3rd. Man. That's it.
I don't get why he's falling out of favor. I know they drafted one. But
dude, can you imagine having Tyreek, Derrick Henry, and Kyron Williams? That's like, what, 60 points a week?
Give me Etienne.
That's like totally like 60 points a week. That's crazy. That Kelsey pick could have screwed us out of ETN here.
It didn't, though.
Boom. Take him.
Boom. Dude, if we can turn around and get Pacheco, this is the best start we've had. That will be 4 top 10 players if we get Pacheco on the turn.
We'll see what happens here.
Correction, we have Pacheco at 11. Sorry, don't want to misstate that.
And with a guy like Pacheco, you're looking at a running back that is aggressively underpriced.
Yes.
He ranked as the 15th running back last year.
Taking 2 receivers of the same team in the first 3 rounds.
He had 3 spike weeks.
Do it! Damn it.
Man, that's
I would say Zach Moss would be who I'd want.
Not Zach Moss, not this early.
It's too early for him, but I want him. I want him on my team. I'm not saying right now.
That's fine. All right. Zay Flowers has been taken, right?
We need to go fast.
You want to take you want to try a Jalen Hurts here? We've never done it.
Who'd it give me? Fuck, because I hit him on the queue.
Are you serious, dog?
Dude, serious? You can't make the answer when it's at 10. Now I'm pissed.
Oh, my God. Well,
you can't tell me a what if at 10 that we've never done before.
Out right there. Way to go. Okay.
Now I am pissed.
Some damage control is necessary, Joe. That's a 9th round player in the 4th round. That was a very bad damage control. All right, so you just see what can happen when you have technology coming in and then it bites you in the ass.
That's why part of that was sitting only on Pacheco.
So why didn't you queue up Jalen Hurts or anybody else like that?
Because I've never drafted Hurts. We hate taking quarterbacks early because they don't.
I get that,
out.
but you could have literally taken anybody else, like James Cook, like anybody else, literally.
Oh, I don't
anybody
like Cook.
Else. Yeah, but I'm saying like literally anybody else right there would have been fine.
Well, again, we still have Zach Moss rated high. It's not like he's an unvaluable.
No. But I'm
player.
saying like that's bad. Don't try.
It was an overreach. I'm not fighting that.
Bad. That's a game. Like that's a losing proposition.
That's a losing start. That was a wasted pick. Not necessarily wasted in terms of we didn't get anything in return, but
no, it was definitely a wasted pick.
Totally. It was not the value we should have gotten for the spot.
So, you see what happens when technology gets you in the ass. We're definitely going to have to make up for that. Man, that was bad.
There's no way around that.
All right. So, I mean, you see what happens, right?
But Jalen Hurts wouldn't have been a good answer either, though.
It would have been better than Zach Moss.
That part ain't fought.
So,
Higgins is probably who we should have picked. Although that even would have been a reach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jalen Hurts right there. When you're drafting here at the back half of the 11th, in the 10, 11, 12 range for anybody watching, when you're drafting in this back half, you definitely, and you're fighting against the computer, you definitely want to have a couple players queued up. There's no doubt about it. Because what happened to Joe is Joe has rankings. We have rankings, and he's looking at running back, and Zach Moss is a running back that in our rankings is very, very high. He's the next,
he is.
But he's not even the next best running back in the rankings. So I don't even know why he was next.
He wasn't. He was just a person I wanted on the next.
Yeah, I know, but like he wasn't even next up in the next ups. Like he's
Mostert was next up. I know I get Mostert super late.
Yeah, so I
Cook's
don't know
gonna be our pick the next go around.
I don't even know why you queued up Zach Moss. Like I think that's a user error on your part there.
Well, I like Zach Moss, but anyway,
but
Cook is going to be the next pick.
He's not going to be. He can't be.
What do you mean?
Because he's going to get taken in this range. Again, I think we'll pull out.
Although we're almost at the turn, so we got to take 2 players we want no matter what, and I think that's going to be Landon Ingram. I mean, just for draft strategy, I think it has to be Landon Ingram.
When we think about
because we're not going to get them in the 7th.
When we think about what just happened, and we think about all the players that have gone after it, while Zach Moss at ADP value there is not ADP value at all.
McLaurin's the only one I would debate it.
But all of those guys that comes around on the turn definitely could have just as good of a season as Zach Moss. So we're not sold yet. We're not 1,000% sold yet. There goes McBride.
I mean, In Zach Moss's defense, Mixon was the number 5 running back last year. And Moss is a more talented player than him.
I'm not like.
I'm very upset by that pick, though.
I'm not.
Because we could have got him in the 7th.
I'm mad because, like, it looks dumb.
It is dumb. I think we got to – but in all honesty, I think we have to go Ingram and McConkley here because I know we're going to get him back if we don't.
We could have got Higgins on a comeback. He almost came back.
I got that. But I think we got to go Ingram and McConkley. I think that has to be the order.
Do what you need to do. Yeah, so, we could even go.
I took Ingram first because the other two don't have tight ends yet.
Yeah, we can even go Ingram Kittle. That would be an interesting combination. They both have spike.
We're not going to get McConkley. You got to get your guys.
I understand that.
The top 10 player.
This is definitely a McConkey range. Not fighting that. And the thing about Zach Moss is, we always argue, Joe, about 4th and 5th round players a lot.
We normally hate the 5th round.
We said it the last time we did. Now we don't have to argue about it. We always argue about should we take Zach Moss in the 7th or 8th round. Now we don't have to argue about it because you took him in the 4th.
Yeah, well, no, we always do hate the 5th round. It kind of forced our hand.
I mean, like, if we want to, like, split hairs about it, like, not terrible, right? We don't have to argue about it. We're going to take. Ken Walker's still on the board. We're not huge fans of Ken Walker this year.
No, go off. Seattle ain't going to score very much. Go off of where they were at there. Everyone Cook there.
You did pass on James Cook for the 2nd time.
I wasn't. Once you have that, once the decision is made, you have to get Ingram and Ladd because you do.
Yeah, you could have also taken. I mean, like, here's the thing too. Like,
it's not the worst starting lineup though. It's just in the wrong order.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So the only player that we would have added, like I said, I think. Here's the thing. I think in the position that we were in, Joe, that Hurts would have been a magnificent selection there in the 4th round, knowing that he is our 3rd ranked quarterback, knowing that we didn't really like anybody else on that board there, knowing that we already started with 2 really good wide receivers. Starting with 2 really good wide receivers and taking that 3rd round ETN allows you and opens up the door for that quarterback. And that's why I'm suggesting.
That's true, but we would have been so. See, this is part. I hate not having 4 running backs.
But Joe, here's the thing. This is where you got to kind of jump out of your comfort zone a little bit. Is that
because we took Debo and Brown. Yeah.
Zach Moss would have been there in the comeback in the 7th round. We still would have been able to take Purdy in the 9th round, 8th round, something like that. That's what normally falls. And having that extra balance of Jalen Hurts there to capture either one of those spike weeks would have been great. So while you can fight for the end of the day, about Zach Moss and it being, the auto pick because you had him queued up for a while for some reason.
I did.
Jalen Hurts had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, the problem is it's more of a positional issue for me, Bob.
But it's not. But it's not at that position when we've built out 2 wide receivers, knowing that we want to get McConkey a little bit later. We already have ETN at the running back position. We were sitting on a running back for the 7th and the 8th round.
But there's no way I would have only taken my 2nd running back in the 7th round.
But you wouldn't have bought in on any one of those other running backs other than Cooks.
Yeah, no, that part's true. Like I said, Pacheco's who I really want.
That's the thing that I'm saying is that you can't be afraid. You can't always have the running back queued up. That's what I'm saying. Like, even though you want the running back, this is an experience for you because you've never done this before.
No, I've never done the two running backs the 2 receivers off the bat. But my pick here is going to be Moser.
Doesn't mean you need the running back. Again.
Oh, I need the running back.
The value of Hurts there is so much better than any one of those other players coming off the board around that same time. And having
it's hard to fight that.
I don't know why you had Moss queued up. You said Moss, then you thought Moss, then you picked Moss.
Well, I had Moss queued up because I put all the players I'm looking for downfield. Like, I have people queued up now for the 17th round already.
Yeah, don't pick them.
Well, the point is there was a panic when you told me at the 10-second mark, and then it been button fast enough.
At the 10-second mark, there's still plenty of time to select Jalen Hurts right there. If you pick him.
You weren't done saying the word Hurts until the
I said Hurts. I said Jalen and I said Hurts. There's only one Jalen that I know in the NFL.
Regardless, this pains me that this is the build. But Mostert, I don't like Mostert as a third running back, and he is going to be.
You did something really weird and crazy there.
What's that?
I think Najee is the pick here in the 7th round.
I'm okay with Najee and then trying to get Mostert on the turn. I mean, Najee's going to get volume. So is Mostert.
Yeah, and
the reason I lean Mostert is because it's a higher scoring offense.
Yeah,
dramatically. I mean, Mostert could give you a 4 touchdown week.
I mean, you could go Mostert first again, over selecting just a little bit.
Well, his ADP's 84. We're going to take him at 82. The Najee's 88.
Now there's a 7th round Burrow, definitely a lot higher than what we selected.
We got him what, like the 9th round last round?
10th round last time. There goes Dak.
That guy took 3 quarterbacks. All right, I'm not gonna lie. The Moss pick was bad, but taking 3 straight quarterbacks
you took Moss. I don't think you have any room to judge anymore on that.
Well, like I said, one mistake ain't the end of the world. But yeah, I'm good with Najee here on the comeback. And then do a Myers on the go around after that.
Yeah, because Coleman didn't last to us there.
Mm-hmm.
Rice is
Coleman
gone.
went like right to lad, yeah.
Rice is gone. Rashid's probably going to go in the next round or two. He's a little bit lower on the list. I do like him. Najee does sit a little bit lower on our list ahead of, guys like, Spears and stuff. But we did talk a little bit yesterday about how the Steelers are a team to kind of watch for in the running back department, workhorse style running backs. Najee doesn't have a great yards per carry. But
it's also going to be a much better line.
They should move the ball a little bit better. They should get into the red zone a little bit more. And Najee's work is definitely useful in the red zone. So I'm okay taking him. Definitely a build that we could have done much later. I mean, see, the problem is we never build Najee Harris because we take Moss in the 8th round,
That's part of it.
Not auto picking Moss in the 4th. So if you're just joining us, we're doing a $20 tournament for the $1 million. We did have a user time error in the 4th round.
Yes, we did.
Where we overselected Zach Moss. Joe got a little bit.
That being said, I still like the receiver room and Ingram at tight end.
Yeah, you always like that. So don't it's not.
I always do. I never not.
It's not. You can't even keep saying it, it's there. It's there.
It is.
And this is a team with that Moss pick though. So here's the thing. We took him high. And typically Moss will go in the 7th, 8th round, right? Now, with that selection, what we have now is we technically don't have a 4th round pick. It's technically not a 4th round pick, but it's technically like an extra 7th round pick there with Zach Moss.
Yeah, we basically traded our 4th for a 7th. That's what we did.
Now, but here's the uniqueness about the build. Like,
no one else has a build like this.
I could go on until I'm blue in the face, but nobody's going to have a build because it's not possible to get because these guys don't come off the board.
Yeah.
They usually come off the board very similarly.
So you're not going to have them both on the
Nobody's
same team.
really going to have an ETN Moss, Mostert, Najee draft with that wide receiver room that we have.
Yeah. With speaking of which, on that receiver room, if Purdy is still there somehow, we're taking him.
That's fine.
I would lean for Purdy and Cooks and then try to do Myers and Herbert on the 2nd turn.
Okay, we can see how that works out. They are going QB heavy. QBs are coming off the board.
They are.
A little bit more rapidly in this draft, so I don't think we'll have the chance at Purdy here.
I don't know. There's a lot. All of these guys, with the exception of the 7th pick overall, already have one.
There goes Cooks.
The guy at 12 does not have one, so that's why I'm going to take Purdy on the 1st go if we can get him. But there went Cooks, though.
Board. Yeah, that's what I said. So Jacoby's our next best wide receiver.
That's right.
Taking him. We've never built out a lot of teams. Smith and Jigba's taken. Did Christian Watson come off the board yet?
I don't know.
We never really take Christian Watson, but he is after Jacoby Myers is taken. He is our next.
Well, Watson's nowhere near our list. He's not projected to do anything.
No, Watson is the next best wide receiver on our list after we select Myers. He's the next one left.
No, Sutton's the next one left.
No.
I must have mixed up the ranking of
Christian Watson is 29th and Cortland Sutton is 30th. Again,
Well, then I missed him, or he's off. He's not on my board right now as I'm looking at him. Has he been drafted? We missed him.
Christian Watson.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm looking at the big board here.
Maybe. But again, I can only see a couple rounds down the road here.
Christian Watson was drafted 6'11".
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. That tracks.
So Myers should be the pick here.
There we have Addison coming off the board. And, when it comes to Minnesota players, I think the one and only one to own right now is Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
He seems to be quarterback proof, as many people are saying. Most forums are saying as well. He's the type of player that, like Devontae Adams, despite quarterback play, is going to put up a season. Is that a first round type of season? You be the judge of that one whenever you do your math and going for it. We have Justin Jefferson not ranked super highly when it comes to that because the situation we don't know about. He is our 10th best wide receiver after Puka Nacua, after A.J. Brown, after Debo. It just depends. He could be very, very good.
Purdy Debo stack, though, man.
The Purdy Debo stack is nice. Not many people are going after the Purdy Debo stack. What I've seen is the Purdy Ayuk stack a lot. If a stack exists at all there. So just to recap here.
What do you try to do something that we haven't done in a long time? Why don't we try to do Herbert and Lawrence? And then just be done with three quality quarterbacks.
If it's possible, we could definitely try it.
We'd have to take Lawrence before him, but then we could be done and out of this quarterback mess. We have stacks on all of them.
We at least have one player on each. Yeah. That is absolutely true.
And all three of them have the potential of going off.
They do. So if it happens, it happens. We're sitting at 4 wide receivers. A.J. Brown,
we are definitely light at receivers. That's
true. And Myers. This is about that time where a guy like Jerry Jeudy starts coming off the board.
Jeudy would be a receiver worth looking at.
I know we don't have Burrow, but we were talking up Burton yesterday and earlier today. That's a guy to
we can wait around on Burton though.
As well.
We're going to get Burton at 13.
Potentially.
So do you want to go Jeudy in one of the quarterbacks instead of double stacking them to try to bolster up that receiver room?
All right, let me check something.
Because right now Myers, Mostert, and Najee are our flex.
Wow, if Moss works out, I'm gonna dog you on that.
You're not letting that go
all time. I hope it pays out.
I hope this is the one we win the million on, Bob. And I hope it's Moss who scores 5 touchdowns in week 17. The whole mixed mode.
Let's see what the spreads say. Let's see what
him and Najee. Then no one will match that. Him and Najee combined for 10 touchdowns in week 17.
It does say in week 17 that Cincinnati is projected to score the 3rd most points in the league. It's possible. It is infinitely possible that might happen. Whether Zach Moss will be playing, I don't know.
Zach Moss is starting the whole year, man. He's better than the rookie. It's just a fact.
And that's fine. If we would have taken Jalen Hurts where you took Zach Moss,
It'd be a much better stack. I'm not fighting that.
Brock Purdy pick still would have been Brock Purdy, I bet.
Yeah. This pick would definitely be a running back, though. It'd be Kendre Miller. It still could be Kendre Miller, quite frankly. And then instead of trying to force the two quarterbacks,
I mean,
would you rather have Kendre or Judy?
How many wide receivers does the person on the turn have?
7 and 3 at 11.
3 at 11? Only 3?
11 only has 3 receivers, yeah.
I think then it has to be Judy.
All right.
Because it looks like they definitely have how many quarterbacks do the two of them have?
One collectively.
One collectively. So it might have to be Trevor Lawrence and then Judy.
Yeah, so I'm also okay with Herbert, though. I think Judy's a more important pickup.
Okay, if Judy's still there, I'm okay with that.
Because there's Lawrence and Herbert.
He does have the same bye week as Jacoby Myers. If that doesn't matter.
Judy's basically the last one on a cliff that we have here.
It's true.
So we do Judy quarterback and then Burton quarterback, and I'm okay with that. And correction, we're only going to get one of the two of them. Who'd you rather have, Herbert or Lawrence? We had them ranked basically next to each other.
I like Lawrence a little bit better.
Lawrence is projected to score. There's go off of that. Well, there went Lawrence anyways.
Yeah, I mean that's why I said to take Lawrence first before Judy.
I don't think we were getting Judy back though.
We were getting one of those players back,
and again, Herbert. There was a fallback at quarterback. There wasn't a fallback at receiver.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, the fallback on one receiver would have been Burton.
Oh no, there's no fallback anymore. We're fallbackless.
Yeah, see, that's why I said. That's why I said a quarterback, man. You said they only had one collectively. Those were the best two on the board. There goes 3.
Yeah, they're panicking.
You played the board, and you lost.
Well, I was not expecting the 3
All right,
quarter.
Stop talking. Yeah. Think about the pick because we don't want fast hands again.
So Zeke's our highest player on the board. Dobbins would be next.
Zeke is still on the board.
Yeah.
And the next best quarterback.
It's Mayfield. It's
Can you
not
just take Burton? Just take Burton.
No, we're taking Zeke. I'll give Burton next round.
You're not getting
Burton. Zeke. Give him Burton next round. It also, by the way, Bob, it has a 5-second lag on what it shows on the screen.
I get it. Zeke is kind of not a pick I like. I know he's ranked decently high in our rankings, but I'm not entirely 1,000% certain that Zeke is actually going to be the starter by the end of the season for Dallas. I think that he'll be pretty fine. But I've been hearing chatter about Khalil Herbert to Dallas. I've been hearing chatter, about Rico Dowdle coming in. Rico Dowdle's a small guy. They do have
Rico Dowdle's never getting the goal line out. They got Zeke to get goal line touchdowns.
But again,
he's going to be a sniper.
If they go in and they get Herbert there a little bit cheaper, it can happen. Again, not liking the running back situation at all.
This is my least favorite $1 million draft we've done so far. I hate picking 10th.
It's not that I hate it. It's just that I think that, like I said, I think seeing all those quarterbacks go, like I said, I think that Trevor Lawrence should have been the pick because Judy would have been back. Judy would have gone
where Thielen went.
I
think the team is much stronger with Judy on it than either Lawrence or Herbert.
I disagree.
Again, because we have Purdy's the number 4 quarterback.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that.
So it's like, how often is he's also on the highest scoring team. How often is he not going to be the one who contributes? Because he normally throws the ball for at least one touchdown.
See, I'm okay with that. But, in week 17, Jacksonville is projected to be the 4th best team. Brock Purdy, and San Francisco is projected to be the best team. I do like the idea of having 2 top quarterbacks like that in the last week of the season with a stack.
I get that. So might not the issue is we lost stack potential. Here are the ones left.
And that's big. That's huge.
Carr, Smith, Nix, Watson, Daniel Jones, and Minshew.
Just wait. None of them are.
No, I know we're waiting, but I'm
None of them
just
are
so you can queue it up.
Yeah, but does he even have the guy that took Trevor? Does he have anybody from the Jags? Does he have Brian Thomas at least?
No, Brian Thomas went to the turn.
So why would he get that?
Because he has him valued higher than Herbert.
And the guy that took Herbie and Stafford, those are his stars.
Does he have any? No.
Okay.
Neither of them did any stacks.
Okay. So it had definitely given us a little bit of an advantage.
So Kendre Miller went there.
Yeah, that's why I questioned the Zeke pick, because we love Kendre Miller. That's why I questioned.
I didn't click him. You told me not to click these people.
I told you not to click Zeke. I told you to take. We talked about Kendre Miller like 2 rounds ago.
We did. Anyway, we talked about Burton. I got him. Well, I unclicked all my late picks that I had on there because I got all panicky. But Burton's going to be the
panicked. You panicked 3 times already today. Come on, get your head together.
The first draft
Grab a
had no panic in it. I think this just says we can't do 2 back-to-back millions in a row.
You panic, man. I can do 2 back-to-back millions. You panic.
I don't know. There's Burton though. That's the right pick.
All right, think about the next one.
I'm leaning Roman Wilson.
You hate these turns. You sit there. You hate these. You got to get used to drafting at the turn.
I'm leaning Roman Wilson. I'm all right with Herbert, by the way. You just talked him up about how he could be in Dallas. I think he has standalone touchdown snipe value. Swift gets hurt all the damn time.
What's his ADP? Is it too early?
It's 187. So yeah, probably too early.
Yeah, it's too early.
Of course, everyone we like right now is too early. This is the spot where we're in the draft where we have more players than talent that we want. So I'd rather go Herbert here.
We could go Conklin there. We could go Conklin. We could go Roman Wilson as well.
Which one do you want?
Give us Conklin. That makes sure that we don't have to look for tight end until the very last round again.
That's fair enough.
Hunter Henry's off the board. Cade Otton's off the board. Conklin is ranked highly in our rankings.
He is.
He is 15th tight end on the board. All those other tight ends have already gone off the board. So, it
was the right slot. So next we're looking at some combination of these 4 players.
Mm-hmm.
Algier, Herbert, Wilson. Well, not Algier. Herbert. Probably Herbert and Roman Wilson would be the 2 ideal selections.
Ideal? No, but I mean, definitely good options. Because, like I said, if Herbert does end up going to Dallas, I think that there is a decent amount of touchdown potential there. If he stays in Chicago,
I still think there's decent touchdown.
I'm not really sure how he's going to be. I'm not really sure how he's going to be used. So it's definitely a big question mark. He's one of those players that if he switches teams, he could definitely be a viable week 1 start.
Oh, if he switches teams and we get him in the 15th round, he will be one of the highest closing value changes that you can have.
I mean, he spiked off last week or 2 weeks last year in the 20s, 1 at 19 and 1 at 11. So, I mean, he definitely has a huge amount of
So you said 19 being the last game of the year?
Ends up being a starter. What?
So the last game of the year is when he spiked?
No, he spiked week 1, week 4, and then week 16 and week 17.
So showing up strong at the end.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So for anybody joining us right now, we're doing $1 million $20 buy-in on DraftKings. We had a terrible misfortune happen to us in the 4th round. Queuing up some players, not paying attention. It ended up taking Zach Moss in the 4th round. We're recovering. We're recovering quite nicely, though. I think we're having
specifically back to the 12th round. We have Zeke as a top 50 player and Kendre Miller outside the top 100. I mean, there's a certain point you just got to go off your board.
I mean, yeah, that is true, but we do know that Kendre Miller's situation could be a little bit better than Zeke's situation. Zeke is one of those players that last year, Zeke performed admirably last year when he put some fantasy teams on his back in a couple of games. Again, he had a.
And also, how many times have you pointed out that Dallas could not score a running play in the red zone?
He had 2 weeks above 20, in the back half of the season, 3 weeks above 10 or 4 weeks above 10. When he was being used appropriately. So if they end up, here's the thing.
He's a goal line specialist. That's 2 touchdowns and a win.
Yeah, if they end up at the goal line, they're running Zeke. So,
yeah.
I mean.
And it's Dallas. They're going to end up at the goal line. That's what they do.
No way about it. There goes Danny Dimes. There goes Derek Carr. We need a quarterback. Well, we know this guy's not taking another quarterback. Danny Dimes was the best, or Derek Carr, Danny Dimes were the best of the bunch there. This went quarterback crazy, actually.
It did.
Okay, don't worry about it. Let's go out there.
I still think Herbert should be the pick.
I like Wan'Dale Robinson first. Can we take him?
Assuming I can spell his name right. Robinson was taken.
Okay. Is Roman Wilson still there?
Yes.
Take him.
You want to stack him with Russ? Russ might be the best quarterback left.
You said Wan'Dale Robinson wasn't there. You went to pick after it. You
just typed in Rob. He didn't come up.
You dirty liar.
I literally typed in Rob and he didn't come up. There went Russell.
Liar.
Dude, basically the starting quarterbacks left are May, Minshew, and Nix. We got Myers, so I'm going to take Minshew.
Okay. I mean, quarterbacks went way
I have
early.
no idea how this first works thing because I type in
your
a player
search feature
there.
Sucks. Your search feature doesn't work at all.
This is an app. This is the DraftKings app, dude.
You typed in 3 players and it hasn't found any one of them.
I don't understand what the hell I'm doing wrong with it.
I have no idea, but I asked you, I literally asked you, please.
Yeah, I literally typed in Rob and nothing came up.
Well, maybe you have to search by first name. How about that? Search first name instead of last name.
Even when I do players drafted. Oh, there he is. All right.
Yeah, search first name.
No, it's only last name. They don't like it. I can type in Bijan right now and he won't come up. If you ever put in players drafted. So, I'm never going to spell their first names right anyway. All right.
This is definitely a unique team.
This is I don't know if this team makes it out of the first round, but if it does, it is a unique build. There's no doubt about that. Although we started so strong at receiver.
Yeah, I think
regardless how we cut this, we have 3 players in our top 10. Correction, 4 players from our top 10. Mostert is 19th. Another 5 from our top 50. This is really just leaning into our rankings. You get 8
leaning
players
like
in
the
your
Tower
top
of
50.
Pisa, man.
You get 8 players in your top 50, even if it's a weird looking build. That's 8 players in your top 50. No one else is going to have anywhere near that. You should have 4.
All right, so on this turn here, this is what the picks will be. The picks will be Khalil Herbert and Justin Fields.
Herbert went.
Did he? Oh yeah, right after you took Roman Wilson. Okay.
Who are you saying the picks are?
I think Justin Fields, man. We might not have another
Fields.
starting quarterback, man. But
Russ is already gone. Bo Nix, at least we know, is starting.
He might not make it there. We don't know he's actually starting yet.
Yeah, you're right. But if you have Justin Fields and he's playing the end of the year, he can win you a league.
Yeah, I don't think Bo Nix can.
Bo Nix can't. That is fair. All right. So looking at the build, it would be quarterback and tight end would be the only other 2 positions we're light in.
How many quarterbacks or how many running backs do we have? 6?
5.
We need another one. There goes Justin Fields. God damn it. These guys, man, punting on these quarterbacks. So we need a running back.
Top running backs we have left: Clyde
right.
Edwards, Pierce.
Can you look up
Foreman, Bigsby? Who am I looking up?
Is Braylon Allen there? You could think about Bigsby. We have ETN.
Braylon Allen of the Jets is there.
Okay, can you take him just as a a flyer here? Yeah. Okay. Just in the off chance that Brees does go
I think
down.
I figured out what I was doing wrong, Bob. I had to click the all button before I click search, which seems stupid. But
son of a bitch.
What I have to do. All right. So who else are we looking for?
Do we need a wide receiver?
We have 7 of them. I think we should be good there.
7. And they're pretty good.
Dude, I think I have to take Bo Nix. He's the only starting quarterback left.
Yeah. That's terrible.
We've been happy with Bo Nix builds before. Always as our third quarter, but never with Bo Nix and Minshew.
You've never taken Minshew over Bo Nix. That's the thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't have the stack though. And how fast quarterbacks are going, I'm not sure he would have come back.
Yeah, I mean, he might not even play. So
there's a chance neither of them play. We're all banking on Purdy regardless. He's our number 4 quarterback.
That's why I'm saying that Hurts in the 4th round would have been.
Bob, I'm not fighting that. Hurts in the 4th round would have been better.
I mean, that misclick is like crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
I think it's Mims and Ertz. That's how we close this thing. Oh, correction, Mims and Mayer.
I don't like either of those, but that's okay.
Well, they're your last round tight end.
And Woody Page simply said, Bo Nix is the future. Stidham and Wilson aren't the answer. So Peyton needs to stop giving Stidham and Wilson first-team reps and let Nix start gaining chemistry with the first-team offense and let the team build with Nix as the starter.
We'll see what they do.
We'll see what happens. For anybody joining us right now, we're at the tail end of a $20 buy-in draft. We did have some technical difficulties.
Bob will not let this go. There goes
definitely making up for those technical difficulties later down the road. We think
we did. Now that is true. Have 8 players in our top 50 is making up for it. By the way, even the guy we messed up still was in our top 50.
We think we have a decently competitive team. Definitely not the best. Definitely not the best build that we could have had. If we would have went with Hurts there, dude, I think this would have been a way better team. We wouldn't have had to waste.
I agree with that.
We wouldn't have had to waste 2 of these last round picks on quarterback, which is like useless.
Well, I guess because Purdy we have his 4th.
All right. So who did you want to take again?
Well, I did want Mims, but he went. So I have a couple of deep ones here. I think there's a chance that Jameis Winston's starting at the end of the year, and we got Judy, right?
Yeah.
So
want to take 4 quarterbacks?
I don't know if I want to take 4 quarterbacks. I do think we take Myers. Is there any other Denver player worth having? Franklin, I guess.
I mean, Franklin's already went. Sutton already went. Josh Reynolds. There goes Khalif Raymond. Josh Reynolds. I don't really like investing in the Denver Broncos. I know we have a stack there. They are projected to not score a lot of points at all.
I mean, I love Tutu Atwell. I always have.
Hold on.
Tutu Atwell is performed when he's given a chance with one of the top 2 hurt. You're 1 cup injury away from being on a great passing offense.
Yeah.
And that's what these last picks are.
Okay, take your Atwell because I think I want to take a tight end on the last pick here.
I have no stake in Mayer. That's just the one I would have picked for the last pick tight end. If you got a more desirable one,
not necessarily more desirable, but could be kind of sneaky.
I like sneaky. We have Mayer as the 3rd tight end left, the only one who's not injured and employed. There's also Kraft and Knox just went. We're after him.
All right, so
now Bellinger. People are getting on the Bellinger bus, man.
All right,
that guy took 4 tight ends.
We have,
I need a name though, Bob. Who do you want?
You know, I want to go with the mustache here. Let's take Greg Dulcich here. Tight end for Denver.
All right, got it.
What?
Got him.
Coming back from a hamstring injury, I can guarantee you he's not going to be on anybody's team. So if he does come out, ends up having a decent year with Bo Nix or whoever's the starting quarterback there, hey, I'm game for it.
I'm game for having different people at the end. I mean, that's what Tutu Atwell and Dulcich are. I like Atwell a lot for the 19th round, relatively speaking, because again, he's one injury away from taking Cooper Kupp's numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely true.
All right, Bob. So we keep track of this. We had number 7 on our board, number 8 on our board, number 9 on our board, number 10 on our board. 19, 22, 31, 45, 40, 49. These are all amazing picks. 83, 91. That's a solid. That's a lot of talent from our big board. It all comes down to, is the system correct? And we know it is.
I do want to see, does DraftKings do a after we go off air here, if DraftKings does a like how they will position you or rank you
let's figure out if we can figure out how they do that, because I'm not totally sure if they do or not.
All right, so anybody that joined us today, thank you very much.
Yep.
We will be back next week talking a little bit more about 4 more teams before we go on live for another best ball draft. And just if you're doing a best ball draft this weekend, or you're doing weekly winners, or you're doing anything like this, please make sure you do a couple of things. Number 1, make sure you have your rankings ready. Always have your rankings ready. Your rankings are very important. You do not want to be, it's okay to be between a couple players when you're doing it and making a decision based upon your team dynamic. What fits your team? Because not always is the best available player the one you want to pick, because
absolutely,
you know, like we were jockeying back and forth. You know, Jalen Hurts is the best player in the 4th round that we have.
We've never built a successful build with a quarterback
we also have players down on the other end of the board that are good. So, you know, think about it in the framework of your team when you go into your draft, regardless of your position, because in your redraft leagues, you're going to know what your position is, essentially. But in these best ball drafts, you're not going to know what your position is. So you're going to want to know how to draft from each position. Don't be afraid to go running back early. You know, you are going to be up against a lot of teams that have built out James Cook,
the standard lineup,
Alvin Kamara, Kenny Walker. All those guys are most likely going to be on teams that have alpha wide receivers. And you might say, "Oh, I've got the best one out of this." Yeah, you might have that best one out of your cohort, out of your 12 teamer. But the idea is to win that $1 million. The idea is to win that $1 million. And
that being said, you have to get through your first cohort.
You got to get through it. But having 3 alpha running backs is fine. Having 2 alpha running backs and 2 pretty good wide receivers is fine too. Just, you know, paying attention to the board, paying attention to where these players are getting drafted is really important. Go in, look at the schedules, look at the weeks. Is your team projected to score a lot of points that week? If your team is, then jump on it. Get a couple players from that same team. And don't be afraid with these last round picks. You can see Theo Johnson coming off the board, Ali Jr. from the Bengals, Dulcich, Bellinger, Knox, Mechie, Mingo, Claypool, Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings could end up being, if Ayuk goes down, Debo goes down, Juwan Jennings could end up putting Brock.
He's the Atwell discussion. Yeah.
I mean, over the top. Rasheen Ali, if Derrick Henry happens to go down, he's the next one up, it seems. Tank Bigsby, Gerard Mason, Justice Hill, Audric Estime.
Yeah, so the point is, don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid to take
these last picks. Don't go chalk at the end is the answer. Because as we went through this, we have so much talent from our top 100. These last picks are just long-term. These are the floater home runs. having an AJ Dillon in the 18th round is no value, but taking a floater on an Atwell or even a Bellinger, there's potential there. Taking a Madison, like, no.
We know Madison's not good.
We know Devontae Foreman's done. He might not even make the team. So when you look at all this, make sure you get some stacks, even if they're low-end stacks, is better than no stacks. And again, most importantly, though, above all other rules, have a list you have conviction in and stick with it, especially if it's a closely held list, which essentially ours is until we hit that $10,000 subscription mark, which we're waiting for you guys to do. Keep subscribing. Thank you guys very much, team players. We will be with you again here on Tuesday. This was a random one on Wednesday, but we'll be with you guys again on Tuesday, and see y'all then.